Hello, hello, welcome. It's Nicole with Equally Creative by Nicole, and it's still in the middle of my 12 days of Christmas. Let me know if you can hear me. If you hop on, let me know where you're from. If you're catching me on the replay, I am going to attempt to catch the comments. Sometimes I can see them and sometimes I cannot. So just keep me posted if you can see me, hear me. And that is it. So I am going to be sharing with you a really fun way to wrap up some fun gifts that you can just find anywhere, like at the grocery store. So let's grab tonight's treat. So these are some of my favorite uh, cookies. I wouldn't say they're just always for the holiday, but I love to give these with some hot cocoa or a mug and coffee packs. I grew up in an Italian household. My grandfather had Lorna Doone cookies with his hot tea all the time. So these cookies, they just remind me of those types of experiences. So I buy them up, I wrap them up, and then I give them as gifts. So if you happen to be one of Kaylee's teachers, this is what she has selected this year to schlep to school to give away to all of her friends. So let's get started, and we can see exactly how quick and easy these are to make look gorgeous. So I am going to switch my camera over and I'm going to share what these packages look like when they're all wrapped up. I just brought a few of them out here with me. You can see some of the different stamps and the different shaped dies that I will share in just a moment. I grabbed, this is a great way to use up some designer series paper, scrapbooking paper that you've got. It doesn't need to be double-sided for this. So you can see, got these four here. And I did all of these and then I was like, oh, what would it look like if I put it down further? And I really love this. And then I also thought if I needed something to look even fancier, that I could really make a big, flashy, extravagant tag for the front here. I was thinking like some greenery or found objects. Maybe some jingle bells could be attached to these. Anyway, those are just some thoughts and ideas that I had for if I wanted to bling them up a bit. I'm going to put these aside, put them behind me for a moment here. And let's show you the Christmas labels set. This is what it's coming from. So this is a really fun, easy way. I also used It's a Hot Cocoa Day so far. I've used Warm and Cozy. So these are just so much fun. So they are the clear photopolymer, so you can really see. And I like to die cut first and then stamp on my dies. So this is my favorite one. We're going to use this one tonight. And we're going to do the Merry Christmas to You. So I'll set that aside. We'll do that in just a moment. All right, so here is the magic. I'm going to wrap two of these this evening. So let's start with the bear. The bear is directional. So when I cut it, I wanted to make sure that when I wrap it around the box, the bears are upright. So you are going to want to cut your paper to 9.5 by 12 inches. So we'll have 9.5 by 12 inches. On the 9.5 side, we're going to score. I'm going to put this really close. You can grab a screenshot and then I'm going to put it down. Okay. All right. So I am scoring at 2 3/4. I did pull out the scoreboard. It is so much nicer to score DSP with our scoreboard. 4.5 inches. 7 1/4 inches, and 9 inches. Then I'm going to turn it. I need to decide, obviously I have a bottom and a top. So from the bottom, I'm going to do 1 1/4 inches. And from the top, I'm just turning that around. I'm going to do 4 1/2 inches from the top. Okay. That's just going to help it kind of bend later when we want to make the fancy fold. All right. So if you stick around, I'm going to do this whole process 2 times so that you can see if you missed anything live. And if you're watching the replay and you missed something, you can catch it in just a moment. All right. So the easiest way, the score marks just never show up very well, but you can see it's scored. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fold everything along the 9-inch side. This gives me a place to find those score lines easier. Okay. All right, so now I have all of my little score lines. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create my tabs and my little flaps. So I'm just trimming a little notch off the corner here. Oh, I want to go all the way to that edge if possible. Okay, and then I'm going to come down and I am going to make a little notch here and then trim this entire little rectangle off. Okay. And then I'm just going to notch each of these pieces at the bottom. So that they will nest and fold very nicely onto each other when the box is wrapped up. So just little triangles there. And you can do that to the last one as well. Okay. So this is what that looks like with all of those little wedges taken out. So now I'm going to use a piece of tear and tape, except that I've moved it and I'm not sure where I stuck it. I took it with me on vacation. It's much easier to use the tear and tape. Give me one moment to just kind of breathe and figure out where the heck I put the tear and tape. I thought I put everything away. This is life. Here we go. Tear and tape. Ready. I did put it away. I just didn't label my drawers yet. Okay, so here is my fancy way of doing this. I like to stick my hand in the center and then I'm going to pull this out, and this just gives me a little bit of control. And I'm going to put this right down the center of this flap. And I do like to trim it. I know you can tear it. I just kind of like straight lines sometimes. I just press on this. Okay. And then I can pull this open like this. And then I'm going to fold this around my box. No, we're going to do it this way instead. So I can push down. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to push my cookies inside here, not too far. And I'm going to push it all the way down to the bottom. I fold in those 2 flaps, and then I'm going to put my tear and tape again on this outside edge. So just one of the outside flaps has to be taped. All right, so that is how that goes together. Now, this is the beauty of this, okay? So our seam is right here. All I have to do is press in. You can see that. And I just kind of do that all the way down. And that is how that goes together. So just as simple as that. And then I took some ribbon, and so I'm going to go ahead and add the ribbon. Okay, so I did share how to do this ribbon thing. I don't know if I can do it without the video. Okay. I might not be able to do it without the video. Nope, I can't do it without the video. So I have to practice better. Okay, so I'm going to do this instead. So I'm going to wrap this around here a couple times. And then I'm just going to tie this in a cute bow. And then I will trim this little tail so that it looks nice and pretty. All right, so there's our bow. Oh, now it's upside down. It doesn't matter tonight. It does not matter. Our perfectionist self is going to just push through. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut our pieces here. Okay. And I'm going to use the mini. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this in half. I'll do both of those at the same time. And then we'll wrap the second one, which will be the same. Okay, so I'm using my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I'm going to just lay this on here. It tells me exactly what I need, which I love, because obviously you can see sometimes I get a little scatterbrained. I get nervous going live for whatever reason. I'm actually going to save a little bit of paper. So we're going to push this through. I did leave the middle layer sticking out just a tiny bit so that it will run through my machine super smoothly. And then I will pop that out. This is the magic. This is the part I love. Okay, so look at this. Yeah, I realized, Karen, that my live was going to be at the same time as hers. And she stays up late enough to do a live. I just didn't think I could stay up that late and still make it to work in the morning. All right, so we're doing a second one in just a moment. So if you missed the first wrapping, we will get it in just a second. But we did both of our die cuts at the same time. And I will go ahead and stamp them. Ta-da. Okay. Sorry, didn't really need a ta-da, did it? Put this behind me. Now, if you are one like me, you probably lose all of your things. So you've got to keep these nearby so you don't completely misplace them. But if you saw this, it's a hot mess right now. So I've got all of my pieces and parts for events sprawled all over the place. All right, I'm using Old Olive. That is the color that is in the trees here. Okay, I I really like the bears, but the tree would be a fun side. I'm going to turn this around because now that I'm looking at that, I really want the tree and this bear in the front. So we're going to retie that in just a second. Let's not be quite as ADHD as I appear to be right now. So I'm going to look through the clear photopolymer, and I can see exactly where that is. Just push that down, and there we have it. All right. I'm going to do this one. Okay. And I will close this up and put it away. And then I will slide these to the side. And let's retie this so we have the Christmas in the front. All right. And I'm going to add a second layer here. So we'll get that double bow effect, even though I don't know how to do the fancy thing without watching videos. So we'll just do 2 layers. Makes a little extra gift if you give this to somebody who crafts, right? They'll have this little extra bit of ribbon here. Okay, so we'll pull this. It's to turn. Bows are such a pain sometimes. We're just going to spread those open and pull that taut. Okay. Okay, so now I've got what I want to show there. And I'm going to put this at the top because we have a great scene right here. So I'm going to pop that up there. And you can use dimensionals for this or not. It's pretty flexible. There's not a definitive way to do this part. But I definitely like that little extra. All right, so let's put this right up here. This one says Merry Christmas to you, just like that. Okay, and that's the back. So that one was our directional, definitely want it to be a specific way. All right, so let's do the second one, which I turned it into a directional. This could have gone in either direction, so it doesn't really matter. I do believe I messed up this, however. So you're going to want to readjust. This top one should only be 4 1/4 and not 4 1/2. Okay. So it's a little messy, but you can see it. All right. It doesn't matter if you do it at 4 1/2. It just ended up being slightly lower on my box. So I must have written that one down wrong. Okay. So again, on the 9-inch side, we're going to do 2 3/4, 4 1/2, 7 1/4, and 9. Okay, doesn't matter which end is the bottom and which one is the top. So 1 1/4, and then let's do 4 1/4. That is probably what I did wrong. Yep, 4 1/4. So, all right. So this is what the back side would look like, but I flipped it over. We're going to use this fun stripe. It's very Norwegian or Swiss, not 100% sure. Okay. Then I'm just going to kind of fold this on all of the score lines, and then we will cut our tabs. wrap and go. Okay. So again, I will cut off the small rectangle here. So a little bit of a diagonal, and then I will trim this entire piece off. Okay. And then I'm going to cut on each of these little score marks. If I can see it better on this side. And I like to do my little wedges. So you just cut this little triangle out, which just makes everything lay smoothly. And you can leave this one straight or you can notch it. I like to notch it just so that it matches the other one. If you want your bottom to be completely square, you can leave one of them straight. I am frozen on my screen. There we go. I think it looks pretty clean with both sides notched. So what the bottom looks like. All right. So again, we're going to do tear and tape. Here's my end. So the tear and tape is going to go on this outer edge here. And then I will flip this whole thing over, and I'm going to go ahead and put the tear and tape on this rectangular flap right here. And just make sure this is the last flap that you close. So let's go ahead and pull this off. Fold this over. This should theoretically line up. Okay. And then put your cookies in so that they're right side up. Fold your flaps. Take off your adhesive. Close it down, and then I just kind of push that down just a little bit, and I lined it up much better with the 4 1/4 from the top instead of 4 1/2. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize. All right, so again, just tuck in those edges, and then you can tie your ribbons. I did like doing the double bow, so I'm going to do that again. Oh, look, we won the ribbon war. Okay, when we sew, we love to play that with the bobbin and the top. So that'll make a cute little bow on the top of something else with a glue dot to hold that. So I'm just going to tie this down. And I'm just doubling these and treating them as if they were one single ribbon. And then once you have it tight, you can kind of twist this around, and then you can separate those bows to make it a little fluffier, a little frou-frourier. Is that a word, frou-frourier? Okay, so there's that ribbon. Pull those open just a little bit more, a little floppier. There we go. You can really fiddle with bows for way too long. So I'm going to pull this really tight. There we go. And then separate that again. Okay. So this one I'm going to add down here. And I will put that up on dimensionals. That little added lift. Goes right up here. All right, so these fabulous cookies will get added to some other little things. What would you gift these cookies with? Hot cocoa, coffee, tea, a box of chocolates. Let me know in the comments what you would add with your fun boxes. And okay, so today was day 7. Make sure you go back and find the other 6 days that I have done. You might just find a quick and easy gift that you can whip up and send out to somebody you love. We'll show some appreciation. And that's pretty much it for tonight. And I will be back tomorrow evening. Tomorrow is my normal Wednesday night, but it will be day 8. I'm a couple days behind, but I'll make up for it in the end, I promise. And I have so much more to share with you. I'll see you tomorrow night.